Folks, welcome in. Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV. Well, we went 1 for 2 racing-wise in western Wisconsin last weekend. Of course, the rain gods decided to come down and drench out the Mississippi Thunder Speedway, so we don't have any replays for you this week, and we're crossing our fingers this Friday night. The rain gods stay away, at least until maybe, say, Sunday, so we can race Friday night at Mississippi Thunder and then Saturday at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. We did get in a night of great action on the asphalt track at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway this past weekend, and the fans were treated to 2 NASCAR Whelen All-American Series late model features, and the wily veterans came out and did what they usually do, and we're going to share the video highlights here right now. The first feature went to a man that's kind of struggled here that we would not have expected to start the year. Brad Powell, one of those names. When you mention him, you figure, okay, top 3, maybe track championship. Got things in better order this past weekend at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. 22 late models. What an outstanding class of drivers we had. And towards the end of this one right here, it was Brad Powell and Sean Paff. They took home wins this weekend. You're going to see that Brad Powell in this one here had to fight off a couple of cautions, and towards the end of the race had a green-white checkered start. And we'll show you the replay here in just a moment. This was an interesting restart. Drivers, you would think, restart the top side, restart on the bottom side, and vice versa. And Steve Carlson was going for his 3rd feature win of the season, 3 in a row, and he had to settle for a couple of backseat finishes this weekend. As you see, he went to the inside of Brad Powell on the last lap, just didn't have enough to capture the number 23, so Brad Powell takes feature race number 1. Steve Carlson had to settle for 2nd. Harley Jankowski took a while to get his way through the field. He ends up with another formidable 3rd to keep his 2nd place among the point standings at La Crosse Speedway. Now, the second feature was interesting. Ty Majeski from Seymour. Every time he comes back to La Crosse, you know that's a name that could probably win a race. He's won a handful out there in the past 2 years. He started this one on the pole, but it was the cars behind him and a couple of cautions that allowed some other drivers to finally catch up. And in the end, this was a veteran versus veteran. This is going to be Sean Paff versus Steve Carlson. And you're going to see here in a moment in turn 2 how Paff uses a lap car as a pick. And it really kind of got the bad side of Steve Carlson right here. You notice as they come around the corner, there's a lap car. And, well, that's going to be the next lap, I should say. I like Sean Paff going back to his 1990 number of the number 3. Carlson has gone high side, low side. We've seen this for many years at the Speedway, the game of cat and mouse that these 2 drivers have done. And in the end, Sean Paff gets into the victory lane for the first time this year. So Steve Carlson's beginning of 2015, 3 feature wins and 2 second-place finishes. I can hear some national Whelen All-American Series point standings kind of knocking on Steve Carlson's door. Rounding up the top 3, Steve Carlson's 2nd, and 3rd was Ty Majeski, as he just couldn't catch back up to the 2 top runners. So your winners, Brad Powell and Sean Paff, making it a very interesting night for La Crosse late models at La Crosse. To the sportsmen we go. The points leader, Nick Clements, started off midway pack of the feature. Do want to mention he missed breaking his own track record by .006. Well, he was going to break this one wide open here as he had to pass Jamie Dummer with about 7 laps to go. Once he was around Jamie Dummer, who had another strong run, it was no looking back. And Nick Clements, your current sportsman point leader, like that battle between Mulliken and Martin right there, has taken out 2 feature wins on the season and has stretched out the point standings with about 7 or 8 drivers all in triple digits when you talk about points so far this year. Again, Mulliken and Martin, nice little battle they had going on there for 4 or 5 laps. Dummer again, tried to do what he could, stayed about a car and a half length back. Just not enough muscle as Clements pulls everybody around turn 4 en route to his 2nd feature race win of 2015. The Thunderstox also had some great racing, a nice collection of cars from throughout the entire region. And Andy Moore, well, once again, he's going to find his way to the top spot in this one here. Bill Schott led this race about halfway through. He comes out of Toma, did a really nice job not only holding down the lead, but then second, and then the charge he was getting for the 74 there of Kyle Lockington. In the end, Bill Schott had to settle for second. Lockington took home a very strong third place, and Andy Moore, as he leads him around again, he will end up winning the feature. And again, Andy Moore, Jacinda Paff, about 4 or 5 drivers could actually carry on this tradition of points towards the top for the rest of the season. And we'd expect maybe someone like Kyle Lockington to maybe move up there, and Bill Schott as well. The Hornets were back out. Steve Bornitz came back. First time in a couple of years. He had his blue and green number 26 probe out there. And as you would figure, it's a probe and it's a Bornitz. He's going to be running towards the top spot. This collection of cars sat up here for quite a while. It was the battle of the Tickies. You had Patrick. You had Garrett. You had Steve Bornitz. And it was not decided until late in this one here of actually who was going to take home this win. You see Bornitz trying to reel in Garrett Tiki, the number 1 car. Right behind him, the 56, was Patrick, your point leader. And with 1 to go, Steve Bornitz says, well, if I'm going to make a move, I'm going to have to do it now. But you saw Jake Showers on the top side. You got some lap cars here as well. And it was just running out of real estate is what the case was for Steve Bornitz. So it was good to see him back on the racetrack again. But behind the lap cars there, it was Garrett Tiki, Bornitz, and Patrick Tiki rounding out the top 3. This coming Saturday night at the Crosse Speedway, it's the late model sportsmen's, Thunderstox Outlaws, and Street Stocks. It's a double spin to win novelty race. All kids under 11 get in for free. They also get a free hot dog, and we're going to invite them on the front straightaway. We're going to drop 10,000 pennies and quarters and nickels and dimes and tokens for food and soda right there in the front straightaway. And we're going to do that before the races, so make sure your kids are down there and ready to fill their pockets with some loose change. Coming up on today's program, talking about the Thunderstox, your 2014 Rookie of the Year, Ron White, joined us at the annual banquet this year. He's going to stop by and make an appearance in the program. And then we're going to take you to Mississippi Thunder Speedway, a driver doing tandem this year in a B-Mod, and he already has 2 late model wins under his belt. We're going to talk to Lance Hofer when Seven Rivers Racing continues.
Get ready for the Thunder!
The Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Your Friday night racing destination.
Every Friday night.
Super stocks, modified.
600 mods.
Pure stocks, street stocks, B-mods.
It's racing excitement, dirt track style. Tickets $12 for adults, $10 for seniors. Students free with an ID. And this year, kids 17 and under free with an adult admission. Friday night racing starts at 7.
Bring on the Thunder!
Dirt track style at the Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Highway 35 just north of Fountain City.
Some of the best moments in life happen at home. American Standard Heating and Air works smarter to make them all more comfortable.
Over $400 in rebates available on select American Standard systems. Call Carey Heating and Air Conditioning today for a free estimate.
We're back, Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV. It's Champions Banquet night here at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. I'm Dan Dyker, talking with the Rookies of the Year, the champions, and everybody having a great time to close out the 2014-15 season. And then tomorrow morning, well, a lot of these guys are going to start in on the 2015 season. It's been a while since I've had a chance to get this individual on my show, and for a lot of people that have watched the show for a while, you're going to recognize my next guest. For those that have not seen the show, you're going to be kind of surprised when I say that this gentleman was Rookie of the Year in the Thunderstox, and that was Ron White. Ron, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Great having you on the program, and I bugged you a couple of times down to the pits this year. I still couldn't, even on the microphone, I couldn't believe that you nailed down Rookie of the Year. Has it sunk in that, when people think of Rookies of the Year, they're thinking of 16, 17, and 18-year-olds?
I know, I was telling my wife that on the way here, is like, I still can't believe this. Started the year 57 years old, and it's wondering why I was even out on the track, and then come to find out I had a little more to shoot for, and it's starting to sink in, but maybe after tonight it'll be there.
Well, I'll tell you, you and Melissa Roosh just went back and forth with the points battle last year. I think it was the last 4 or 5, maybe 6 races that things got tight. They flip-flop back and forth. Is that when you finally realized, hey, I've got a shot to nail this thing down?
Well, like you said, we were either tied or real close through the whole thing, and it was, I believe, the second night in August when Jason Schaller cracked the head. And he came over to me and he says, "Jack your car up. We're going to change some things." And you hate to see a driver had bad luck, but his bad luck ended up being my good luck. And August was just a great month, and I was able to pull away.
Let's go back to the beginning of the 2014 season. I've known you for as long as I've been in the Speedway, but I've known you as the man in the grandstands with the earphones in, putting his arms up when there's a call out there, rooting for Nathan one car white. When did the decision come down that you were going to get into a Thunderstock this year?
Well, Nathan decided he was going to take a year off, and then last year came. He finally decided in March that he wasn't going to race again. The car sitting in the backyard, and I've got two son-in-laws that race. Jason Dummer races in the sportsman division, and Steve Owen races in the late model division. And Lance Berger, who is Jamie's crew chief, well, they all started pimping, as Jamie likes to call me, Pops. I said, "Well, you going to hop in the car? You going to hop in the car?" And when Nate made the final decision, I turned to my wife and I said, "I don't know what to do." And she said, "Well, you always wanted to do it." So that was it. I hopped in it, and away we went.
And away you went right off the bat, because it was like you had just hopped back on a bicycle again. Had you ever raced before?
No, never.
You really couldn't tell, because, I mean, the way that you conformed to that quarter-mile track, it was probably the many years of watching everybody in your family race.
Well, Nate raced for 5 years, and I brought him to the racetrack, I believe is for the first time in '97. So it's been almost 18 years, and like you said, sitting up in the grandstands, it's a whole different thing than getting down in the pits and hopping in a car. But after the first couple nights, after the first race, after I decided that the wall wasn't going to move when I hit it, then yeah, it started to come together, and I watched the veterans that are out there on the track, and they helped me along, and I learned a few things, and it got better.
You know, you bring up a great point right there, because a lot of people know that when you get the Worthens and you get the Bolsters and you get the Moores, that they've dominated that track, they've owned that track. But behind the scenes and in the pits, they're not actually your enemies. They're there to help out, and I think I can say that for the entire Thunderstock class.
Exactly, and I hope to thank all of them tonight, because it was an honor to be out there on the track with them. I can't remember if it was one of the first practices I came just to get the car on the track, or the first night, and I rolled the 27 off the hauler, and I can't remember who it was. And they said, "Oh, Nathan's racing this year," and I went, "Nope, me."
It was probably me, because I had known that Nathan was going to come back, and I know I was one of those in the pits going, "Wait a minute, Ron White's going to race this year."
It could have been you. It could have been you, but like I say, it was a great experience. All the Thunderstock drivers were awesome, and it was just a fun time.
Now, I know the big question that's out there, you nailed Rookie of the Year. Usually for a driver, the second year what they want to do is go for a track championship. What's Ron White got in the works for 2015?
Well, as of right now, the plan is to get out on the track. They changed a couple rules. Midway through the season, my son decided he wanted to get back into it, so he came up to Dad about halfway through and said, "There's a car in Rockford." So I went to the bank account, helped him out get the car. I hate to say I did put the first dent in the car when he got out there racing, but that's my biggest thing next year. I didn't get to race with my son that much this year because he had a lot of motor problems, and I just want to,
because he came on the latter part of the season.
Yeah, I want to do that. And if I could just get a heat win, that would be another goal. But as for a championship, these guys out there, Jordan Myers, Andy Moore, Jason Schaller, of course, Jason Bolstrom won't be there because he won the championship. And even the girls out there, Jacinda Paff and all of them, they're just awesome drivers.
So you're wanting to stir up some good conversation at Thanksgiving about beating your son.
Well, maybe just to watch my wife and, of course, his mother up in the stands go crazy when we get side by side.
Well, Ron White, Rookie of the Year this year. Congratulations. It's been a thrill to know you. Like I said, I've known you, I think, since my very first afternoon on the Speedway, and I miss you pointing at me when you don't like a call on the track, but it's great to see you down on the track, and good luck in 2015.
Well, thank you very much, Dan.
Get ready for the Thunder.
The Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Your Friday night racing destination.
Every Friday night.
Superstocks, Modifieds,
600 mods.
Pure Stocks, Street Stocks, B-Mods.
It's racing excitement, dirt track style. Tickets $12 for adults, $10 for seniors. Students free with an ID. And this year, kids 17 and under free with an adult admission. Friday night racing starts at 7.
Bring on the Thunder.
Dirt track style at the Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Highway 35 just north of Fountain City.
Some of the best moments in life happen at home. American Standard Heating and Air works smarter to make them all more comfortable.
Over $400 in rebates available on select American Standard systems. Call Carey Heating and Air Conditioning today for a free estimate.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV. I'm Dan Dyker along with Rob Butterfield. This show would not be complete at the Mississippi Thunder Car Show here at Sugarloaf Ford if I didn't get my buddy Lance Hofer on. I've had him on, I think, 3 years in a row now. Very exciting driver. Love his entire family, and it's great to have you back, brother, man.
Yeah, it's good to be back on.
It's going to be kind of different for you this year. You are one of the first drivers that I found out during the wintertime and some conversations with you. You're going to take on this limited late model class.
Yeah, we're going to give it a shot and see how it goes. It's different, but somebody's got to do it and support the class. So.
Now, of course, you ran A-mods for how long now?
5 years, maybe?
Because I know as long as I've been up here,
yeah.
You've been running the A-mod. Did you shake it down last night?
Yeah, we went out and made some laps, and it's getting there. Needs some time, but we'll get it going by the start of the year.
What would you say now for the viewers? We're trying to give them a good view of what an A-mod is compared to the limited late model. What are some of the differences that you found out right off the bat?
Well, motors in the A-mods are significantly bigger. The tire sizes, mods, the tires are only 8 inches wide, and late models are 14. So wow. They're bigger, they're lighter. They are a little bit faster, but it's just going to take some getting used. They drive quite a bit different. It'll take some getting used to.
Now, Rob when we had Bob on earlier, Rob brought up a good point. We were talking about speeds and timing.
Right, speeds and timing. I can't remember exactly how Bob put it, but how much slower or how much faster are they than the class below you or maybe the class up? Like you were talking A-mods, right?
Yep.
Is that the most comparable thing that you can go with? Or?
That's A-mods before this year were the fastest class at the Speedway. This year, they're pretty comparable to the late models. I think when the track dries up, the late models will be a little faster.
Because I noticed last year during Fall Fest, Bob had that car out and it didn't have any decals on it. It was just white.
Right.
And he was catching those guys, but he was also backing it off, to kind of not get in the mix because there's a lot of points and stuff going on. So I was pretty impressed. Are you looking forward to this class?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a learning curve. I mean, I want to run good, so
right.
it's going to take time to learn and we'll figure it out and be running up front and stuff.
Well, like we were just talking off camera, if that thing runs half as fast as it looks good, you're going to be on top.
I hope so. Hopefully it stays looking good too.
Now, Lance is one of those that last year, just when you thought he was in the groove and things were going to shake out, some bad timings with that car and some crumpled parts and a blown motor, and it was so surprising to see how fast you came back out on that racetrack. You had a lot of great support from your family and your sponsors.
Yep.
And did it surprise you? You came out as strong as you did? I mean, you were making a statement right off the bat.
Yeah, we broke the motor the second or third night out, and it took us about a month to get another one built, and we got another one built and came out and we won the first heat race we were in. We won. It was pretty fast, but yeah, the car was competitive after. Then I backed it in the wall by mistake on a practice, and frustrating, but we fixed it and came back out, and then we won one night at the Fall Festival. So.
And again, Lance is one of these guys. I've got to know your family really well on and off the racetrack, and when we talk about Mississippi Thunder being a family place to go, it's not just the race fans in the stands, it's the family support.
Yeah, I mean, we've been going to that speedway for many years. My uncle's raced there, and my grandpa's been involved with racing for a long time. And I mean, my whole family, uncles, aunts, all our family friends, we all go and watch every Friday. It's kind of a tradition,
And I got to give a shout. Denise is off camera over here. She makes the best chicken noodle soup at Fest that I've ever had, man. It's great.
One quick question.
I can't give her that much credit. But.
one quick question. Where does your number come from? 11, right?
Yep.
Where did it come from? Is that a family thing, or is that?
No, my dad's number was 18. My other uncle was 17, and then 16 is the other one. When I was younger, I used to like watching a guy named Pat Dorr, and
there you go.
I guess I decided, I don't know, I wanted to be 11 then.
Okay, that's good. It's always interesting to find out where these numbers come from. Some guys just get stuck with it, you know.
Yep.
Well, Lance Hofer this year going to be doing double duty, folks. He's going to be running the A-Mod again. Hopefully that thing stays in the track complete the entire year, and he's going to be one of the drivers a lot of people are going to be watching because there's a lot of interest in this limited late model class. And again, I think you were one of the first drivers I talked to during the winter time that said he was going to step up into this class. So we look forward to that. Good luck to you this year,
Thank
and
you.
tell your mom to keep bringing on the suit.
I will.
All righty, Lance Hofer, the blue and white number 11. You're going to see it duplicated this year in 2 different classes, and we can't wait to see what he's got for the 3rd mile.
Well, I want to thank Ron White, 2014 Crosse Speedway Thunderstox Rookie of the Year, for joining us in the program. And as you just saw, he's driving a late model and a B-Mod this year at MTS. That is Lance Hofer again. Racing in La Crosse coming up Saturday night, 6:15. The qualifying, you can watch it live on KQEG TV. As a matter of fact, racing underway at 7:30. At the dirt track in Fountain City, the mini-mods get started at 6. Everybody else on the big track starts at 7. LaCrosseSpeedway.com, MississippiThunder.com. Also, check me out on Facebook. We've got the radio, the show, the 580 WKTY Race Report show on Saturdays from 12 to 12:45 this week. And this program, you can follow it along on Facebook as well. That's going to do it for the program. More racing coming your way next week. And until then, I'm Dan Dyer, KQEG TV.